Thank you, Chair. Minister, your statement this morning began, and I think it hit the right tone at the start. It was regretful, and there was a hint of even contrition in it, at the fact that we are a laggard in terms of meeting our climate change targets within the European family. You mentioned that we're not alone, that Luxembourg, Malta, the Netherlands are also in a similar boat. We may not be alone, but we are in a minority, a sorry minority, of countries that are falling way behind. And whilst I think your statement hit the right note in that regard, in I think the 6th paragraph, I think you said it's important to point out that the funds received by both Estonia and Denmark will be used to accelerate deployment of renewable electricity in their jurisdiction in line with their own national energy and climate plans. To be honest, that actually compounds the shame of this, having to pay 50 million of Irish taxpayers' money out to make up for the shortfall in our own targets. And not only will that money leave our shores, where it could be invested in decarbonising our own economy and improving our own renewable energy sources, it's going to countries that are already miles ahead of us. So we're going to fund them to go even further ahead in terms of their own renewable energy resources. And fair play to them, they're ahead of us. But, you know, like, this probably won't, unfortunately, permeate down to the man and woman on the street, to the people who will come to our Zoom clinics and contact our offices. But trying to explain to explain this to the ordinary man and woman on the street, they'd be absolutely shocked that this amount of money we're paying this out in penalties that's going towards the best boys and girls in class in order for them to improve and get even better. I mean, it's absolutely shocking. And Deputy O'Rourke raised a really fundamental point there just at the end of his contribution. The renewable energy that's coming on stream, that's coming down the tracks, isn't going to be state-owned. It will be privatised. So we will be going from big oil to, I hope we can find another phrase, but for the moment, big wind. You know, this is where we're going. And what the government are going to need to answer is, how much of the renewable energy that's coming on stream is going to be siphoned off for other multinational corporations, such as those that run data centres, who are entering into prepaid contracts with the companies that own wind farms to siphon off up to 15, 20, 25% of the energy that's created in order to fund, or in order to power data centres, which are huge carbon emitters and are very poor in terms of creating jobs. So, like, there is a structure here that is in place and that is only going to get bigger, which is going to be bad for the worker, bad for the economy, and bad for the Irish taxpayer, because we are going to continue to pay these exorbitant penalties to countries that are doing things far better than us. And just in another related element in terms of carbon emissions, we speak about transport, and I'm moving a bit away from renewable energy generation to the emissions of carbon through our transport sector. When we came out of level 5 and came into level 2, and I look around, I know Deputy O'Rourke is from the Meath area, travels into Dublin. Deputy Whitmore is behind me from North Wicklow, travelling to Dublin. I bet you they had similar conversations as I did coming from North County Dublin. Janie Mac traffic just absolutely shot up overnight when we left level 5. Everyone was back in their cars, hitting the cities for work or for shopping or whatever. Our air quality is absolutely disgraceful, back to 80s levels when smog was a fact of life in Dublin and our major towns in Ireland. Traffic is back, unless there is a level 5 pandemic or a shutdown, traffic is back to the worst levels and has been for the last number of years. And it's been sold actually by the government previously as some indicator, oh, the economy was recovering and everyone's back to work. Look, it's great that the economy was recovering at a particular point, but the fact that we're all in cars, and with a target of 2030 for everyone to be driving an electric or a hybrid car coming down the tracks, I would ask the government, I've asked in a PQ, is there any plans for a scrappage scheme run by the government, supported by the state, to allow the hundreds of thousands of people that own diesel or petrol cars to be able to, in an affordable way, scrap these cars and over the course of the next 5, 6, 7 years, get an electric or hybrid car? The answer to my PQ was a flat no. So the government aren't really interested in tackling this either at a micro level or on a macro level, as is proven by this. And I'm just really concerned in 2021, we're all going to be here again talking about the next statistical transfer and the next piece of accounting sleight of hand. And that's shameful. Thank you, Chair.